It might surprise some Christians to learn that a number of prominent atheists and agnostics have alleged that, of all things, the Bible made them unbelievers. According to 20th century British playwright A. Milne, author of the Winnie the Pooh books, the Old Testament is responsible for more atheism, agnosticism, and disbelief, call it what you will, than any book ever written. In more recent times, the YouTube channel Big Think featured popular American magician, actor, and entertainer Pendulette in a video titled, "How Did You Become an Atheist?" The video has been viewed millions of times. In it, Gillette stated, "I read the Bible cover to cover, and I think that anyone who is thinking about maybe being an atheist, if you read the Bible cover to cover, I believe you will emerge from that as an atheist. The Bible itself will turn you atheist faster than anything." When Pendulette was asked, why would reading the Bible make you an atheist? He said, "Because what we get told about the Bible is a lot of picking and choosing." He then gave his first actual example of what he believes will make a person an atheist, saying, "When you see Lot's daughter gang raped and beaten and the Lord being okay with that." Indeed, in an attempt to protect two guests in his house, Lot offered his two daughters to an angry mob of homosexuals in Sodom, saying, "See now, I have two daughters who have not known a man. Please let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish." As incomprehensible and detestable as Lot's actions were, there is nothing in Genesis 19 or anywhere in Scripture that indicates God was okay with that, as Gillette contends. Quite the opposite, in fact. Genesis 19 actually reveals that the two guests, who were really angels sent by God, did not allow anything to happen to Lot's daughters. Rather, they, the angels, struck the wicked men of Sodom with blindness and later safely ushered Lot's daughters, as well as Lot and his wife, out of the repulsively sinful city prior to God destroying it. Still, some find it quite troubling that in the New Testament, Peter uses the term righteous 3 times in 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 7 and 8 to describe Lot. He wrote, "God delivered righteous Lot, who was oppressed by the filthy conduct of the wicked, for that righteous man, dwelling among them, tormented his righteous soul from day to day by seeing and hearing their lawless deeds." Why did Peter repeatedly call Lot righteous when many see a different picture of Lot in the book of Genesis? Was Lot really righteous? One must keep in mind that though a Bible writer may have recorded a specific sin or more than one sin and foolish actions of an individual, such revelation does not mean that the person could not also have been righteous. Jesus Christ was the only perfect man ever to live. Though Noah, Abraham, Moses, and others were counted faithful, they occasionally disobeyed God's will and acted foolishly or cowardly. God never blessed their disobedience, only their faithfulness. Similarly, just because Peter called Lot righteous does not mean that Lot was perfect. Even the Apostle Peter was guilty at one time or another of having a lack of faith, denying that he knew the Lord, and hypocritically withdrawing himself from Gentiles. Furthermore, Peter's statements about Lot's righteousness must be considered in their proper context. Similar to how Noah was an island of righteousness surrounded by a sea of iniquity, Lot was surrounded by extremely wicked, filthy, lawless citizens of Sodom. Although Lot was far from perfect, he was not a wicked, lawless, unrighteous citizen of Sodom. He was righteous. Lot separated himself from the unlawfulness of the inhabitants of Sodom and was even tormented day to day by seeing and hearing their lawless deeds. Though Lot's offering of his daughters to the Sodomites is inexcusable, Genesis 19 clearly indicates the distinction between the type of overall life Lot lived versus the lives of the wicked inhabitants of Sodom. The Sodomites even hinted at such when they declared that Lot keeps acting as a judge. This was the distinction Peter made, not that Lot was perfect, but that he remained uncontaminated by the level of intense iniquity prevalent throughout Sodom. If you would like to learn more about Genesis 19 and many other Bible passages, be sure to visit us at apologeticspress.org.